Hi, welcome. We got a quiz coming up soon, and we've got the words posted for you. So I wanted to take an opportunity to go over some of these words with you to help you be successful on your quiz. This quiz is about the Industrial Revolution. The key thing I can tell you about the Industrial Revolution is it makes things quicker, easier, and faster. Okay? We're making things quick, easier, and faster. This is an extension of the American system, born out of the era of good feeling, where America is finding itself, its roots, it's economically growing, we're nationally growing, we're becoming a whole country. So let's go over some of these words for your quiz on Friday. So the first word is Industrial Revolution. So a quick summary of the Industrial Revolution is it's a time period in the United States, this time period in the early 1800s, where there's a lot of new inventions coming out, and a lot of things are quickly coming out to make our lives better, quicker, more efficient. Okay, so the Industrial Revolution. The next word we're looking at is the cotton gin. Now, the cotton gin is invented by Eli Whitney. Okay, and so the idea here is that it's taking seeds from cotton. And when it starts taking the seeds from cotton, they can produce a whole lot more cotton. Okay, the impact of that is that people are going to grow more cotton, especially in the South. And also, they're going to need a labor source, a cheap labor source to pick the cotton, then it runs it through the cotton gin. Okay, so the cotton gin, the big effect of that is it increases the demand for slavery because they're going to want people to be picking cotton in the fields, right? So it's when the cotton comes in that they take the little individual seeds out. So the effect of that is going to cause an increase of slavery, but also it's going to make the cost of clothes cheaper because it's going to be easier to produce the cotton. Okay, Eli Whitney is an inventor. He invents the cotton gin, and the other thing he's famous for doing is creating a thing called interchangeable parts. Interchangeable parts, which is another vocabulary word, so I'm kind of pushing these all together. Interchangeable parts are, think about like a vehicle or a car, mom or dad's car. Right now, if something bad happens to your parents' car, let's just say the battery runs out or is broken. Your parents just don't go, oh, I got to get rid of the car, the battery's broken. What they do instead, though, is they just go get a replacement part for it. So an interchangeable part, which would be like a new battery from the auto parts store. They put that in the car, and the car continues to run. Okay? So before this, most things were specifically handmade by individuals and craftsmen. So if you wanted a gun, most likely it was handmade by someone who made like a gun, and then they handed you the gun, and then if it broke, you hope that individual person could replicate the part, but if not, you were just out of a gun. So what we're doing now is we're creating a thing where like we have the same pieces or parts that put things together. A lot of the things in your life are now interchangeable parts. So think about the things in your life that are considered interchangeable parts. Things in your house that break, things in a vehicle that break, things in a school that break, right? The air conditioning unit, the heating systems, the projectors that are used. This camera that I'm using in this system right here, there's all interchangeable parts in it. If something breaks, we just fix it and go buy them again. So that's a big concept. Remember, interchangeable parts, we're making things faster, easier, and cheaper, okay? The other word we need to do is sectionalism. Sectionalism is, I think I've been over this word before, is where you put your own section of the country, your interests of your part of the country over the whole, right? So here we're starting to get tensions between northerners and southerners. So the sectionalism we're experiencing here would be like, me thinking that the South is better than the North, or someone thinking that the North is better than the South. Sectionalism. My part of the country is better than everybody else. So let's go to our other ism, which is nationalism. These are very similar, but instead of my section of the country, I think my whole country's better, right? So nationalism would be having a pride in your own country. My country's best, or my country is awesome, right? So I think the United States is incredible, right? So that would be an example of nationalism. If I'm from another country, saying that that country is the best country would be an example of nationalism, right? I'm putting. I want things to go really, really well for my country. Okay, so let's look at Samuel Morse. I hope you got that because that's all I'm giving you on that because I just used the Morse code. Most of you know the Morse code from watching movies, especially like maybe old military movies, where there is a code or beep sounds that are put through an electric impulse machine. And it's messages that are sent over long distances. And you have to imagine before this, if you wanted to get a message quickly somewhere, the only way to do it would be like by horseback, with someone riding a horse really, really quick. Or if you live downriver, someone would take a river, would come down the river and get a message to you. But now there's going to be these pole lines that are going to have these electric wires where they send pulses places. And someone on the other end hears and goes, "What? What is that? You wrote that down? Beep, 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 beep. Study for your quiz. Beep, 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 beep. Mr. Slayton has incredible hair. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, buddy." So that's the Morse code. Samuel Morse is a telecommunication. It is the first text messages of that time. So imagine the text messages that you get on your phone, but instead of getting them directly on your phone, you would probably go to like a post office or something like that and be like, "Do you have any messages for me for my text messages?" Some of those text messages wouldn't be so good that we give people. Yeah. All right. The other word that we're looking at here is Nat Turner. And Nat Turner is famous for leading a slave revolt. So once again, they're trying to show us that there's a movement, there's an organization by people trying to get rid of slavery. Nat Turner led the slave revolt and unfortunately ended up causing a lot of vengeful behavior and fearful behavior targeted towards African Americans. So there's going to be a lot of new rules that are written to keep people separated, specifically slaves. So it's very sad. But Nat Turner led a revolt to try to end slavery. He was not successful, but we're just showing you that people were trying to get rid of slavery throughout the course of American history, right? The other part word that we're looking at here is union. And union basically is it's an organization of people trying to make working conditions better. Unions aren't as popular as they once were, especially down south, but unions would be like a group of workers would come together and fight for better wages or better working conditions or pensions or anything like that. So they called that a union or workers union. The last word we're looking at here is Missouri Compromise. Missouri Compromise was written in 1820 by a guy by the name of Henry Clay, and I always remember Clay's name because he wrote a bunch of compromises. And Clay, his job was to keep the country together, right? Just like Clay holds things together, like literally, like Clay's like clump, 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 clump. Henry Clay writes the Missouri Compromise, and he'll write another compromise, but he's trying to hold our country together. The Missouri Compromise is trying to keep an equal balance to free states to slave states. Okay, so we're trying to keep all the countries or the country balanced in Congress. So Missouri will come in as a slave state, and Maine will come in as a free state. And when Missouri comes in as a slave state, Congress bans slavery north and west of the 3630 line. Okay, so that's the Missouri Compromise. But they're showing you that people were trying to keep our country together. It's just not going to work out. We know that we're going to end up in a civil war. But those are just a quick rundown of some of the words that you're going to get quizzed on this week, and you're going to do fabulous on them. Don't forget to study, kids. Don't forget to eat your vegetables. Bye.